Welcome to the Daughter Arise channel. My name is Yvonne and this channel is all about bringing you content and news surrounding childhood sexual abuse. On this channel I share things from my own journey of overcoming many different challenges to do with sexual abuse, things I found hard, difficult, encouraging. I also share news stories and add commentary to them, and I also interview survivors and their supporters on this channel to raise awareness of child sexual abuse. So if this is the type of content that you're looking for, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified of any new uploads. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like the content. So in today's video, I have a story here about a top cop who was tipped to be the Met's first black commissioner being allowed to return to work after being convicted of possessing child pornography. A senior policewoman once tipped to be Scotland Yard's first black commissioner was unfairly dismissed for possessing child abuse images, a tribunal has ruled. Acting Chief Superintendent Novelette Robin Williams was sacked and put on the sex offenders register in 2019 after being convicted of possessing child pornography. But now the senior Scotland Yard officer, who was on an £80,000 a year salary, is to go back into uniform and is expected to receive back pay for missed earnings after Police Appeals Tribunal ruled her dismissal was unfair and unreasonable. The astonishing decision comes despite Metropolitan Police Assistant Commissioner Helen Ball warning that members of the public would not have faith that Superintendent Williams would protect them or have faith in the police because of her conviction. Her trial at the Old Bailey heard the 55-year-old officer made a serious error of judgment when she failed to report a child abuse video that her sister sent to her to investigate. Her sister, Jennifer Hodge, a social worker, shared a video with 17 people on WhatsApp of a 5-year-old girl being abused, telling Williams, "Sorry, had to send this. It's so sad that this person would put this out. Please post this and let's hope he gets life." But Miss Williams failed to report the matter to colleagues who would have investigated her sister. She denied seeing the video during the trial in 2019. But prosecutors say there was no way she could have missed the 54-second clip, pointing out that Miss Williams had messaged her sister saying, "Please call," after it was sent. The case came to court when one of the other recipients of the clip reported it to the police. Miss Williams was convicted of possessing an indecent image of a child, but was spared jail after a judge said it was a complete tragedy that she was in the dock, as it was obvious she did not have the image for sexual gratification. Until the prosecution, the officer had enjoyed a stellar career in uniform. He was honoured by the Queen for her senior role during the 2011 London riots and for helping Grenfell victims in 2017. A police appeals tribunal upheld her appeal against her dismissal. Miss Williams said, "I'm extremely pleased with the outcome today. For over a year, before and during the pandemic, I've continued to support local people by working within the community. I'm delighted to be able to return to the work I love, serving our communities within London." Only last year, Assistant Commissioner Ball, who chaired her original misconduct hearing, said the senior officer's disgraceful act constituted gross misconduct and should be dismissed without notice. She said dismissal after a misconduct hearing is not designed to punish police officers. It is about upholding the reputation of the police force as a whole. Williams was in a position of responsibility both on and off duty, and her failure to act was very grave. This could have led to further harm to that child in the video. It is unacceptable for police officers enforcing the law to break the law themselves. Wow. So you just heard a bit about that story, about this police commissioner who actually broke the law. I really don't know where to start with this story. As somebody that has gone through child sexual abuse in my own childhood, I find it disgusting. She lacks common sense. She lacks discernment. The fact of the matter is, whether she was sent the image and found it sexually gratifying or not, the fact is she is a police officer who has sworn to uphold the law. Her and her sister, who is a social worker, lack sense. As you can guess, I am really annoyed about this story. Both of them failed to do the right thing. How can you have a social worker who is in a position where they're supposed to protect children and supposed to, safeguard children, send this image via a WhatsApp rather than sending it to the police? Wouldn't she not do this in ordinary cases in her job as a social worker? in cases that she was assigned to within her job post? Why would she then send it to her sister, who is a cop, who then herself doesn't do the right thing as a police officer? The fact that these two are in positions of power, for me, is very, very worrying. I don't care about the fact that she does things for the community or not. The fact of the matter is, a young girl was in that clip being sexually abused in that clip, and she didn't report it to her colleagues. Instead, somebody else, one of the 17 other people that was sent the image, reported it to the police instead. So the two that had the responsibility couldn't even do the right thing. To me, it's disgusting. To me, she should not be allowed back in her job. And I totally agree with Commissioner Ball. If you as a police officer cannot even uphold the law, then why are you in your job? The fact that she has a serious lack of discernment and judgment when being sent an image by her sister to forward it on to her colleagues so that they can investigate is very, very worrying. Regardless of her position, regardless of her race, regardless of her gender, she should be held accountable to the law like everybody else. If this was an ordinary everyday Joe on the street, do you really think that that would cut it? Do you really think they'd be able to get away with having images, whether they found it sexually gratifying or not? The law is there for a reason. And it's one rule for one and one rule for another. She should have the same consequences and repercussions that apply to everybody else. Also as well, what does it say to victims and survivors of child sexual abuse who in the first instance are very scared to even go and report it to the police when they see that this police officer and social worker did not do the right thing? I will leave a link to this in the description box below, and I will see you on the next video. Take care.